Hi folks, I'm attorney Richard LaGarde. Welcome to part 5 of our 7-part series of tips on how to give a great deposition. These are tips that I've given my own clients over the past 30 years. Because each case and each deposition is different, it's important that you talk to your own attorney before you give a deposition. Now, if you're ready, let's get started. Here's tip 41. Look the opposing attorney in the eye. Now I say that because many of my clients look down at the table, or look up at the ceiling, or look over at me when they're giving a deposition, and they don't look at the opposing attorney. And it's important to look at the opposing attorney because you can often read something about that attorney. You can read his emotions, you can read his intent by looking at his eyes. Why do you think high-stakes poker players wear sunglasses? Here's tip 42. Talk slowly. It's important to talk slowly because the court reporter is trying to take down every word you're saying. If you talk too fast, you may not get an accurate transcript, and it's important that you have an accurate transcript and that your testimony is clear and not confusing. Here's tip 43. Don't look at your own attorney for help. If you're asked a difficult question, don't stare at your own attorney thinking he or she is going to help you. Because number one, if you're being videotaped, it looks to the jury like you're looking for cues from your own attorney, and it looks the same way to opposing counsel. So again, don't look to your own attorney for help. Here's tip 44. Correct any mistakes you made during your deposition. If you need to, take a break, talk with your attorney and say, I said something wrong. Should I correct it? When you go back on the record, say, listen, a minute ago when I testified as to X, I was mistaken. It was really Y. Make that correction during your deposition, not later. Here's tip 45. Ask for a break if you need one. All of us get tired occasionally, especially if we're being peppered with questions by an attorney. So if you feel that you're getting tired, that you're not focusing as well as you should, ask for a break. If you have to go to the bathroom, ask for a break. Some attorneys can ask questions for hours without taking a break, but you have the right to ask for a break if you need one. Here's tip 46. Don't use alcohol or medications that can affect your performance. Everyone has a right to be nervous once in a while, and giving a deposition is not something that most people are used to. And some folks think that by drinking alcohol or taking medications before their deposition, they can calm down, they can get through it. And that's a mistake. If it affects your performance, if it affects how sharp you are during the deposition, you don't want to rely upon alcohol or drugs to get through it. Talk to your attorney before the deposition so that you're not nervous, so that you understand what's going on, and don't rely on that crutch that might affect your performance. Here's tip 47. Wear what you would normally wear going to church. Now, you only get one chance to make a first impression. If it's your lawsuit, you want to make an impression on that attorney. You want that other attorney to know that the jury will accept you, that you'll look normal in front of the jury. If it's a videotape deposition, the jury's going to be watching you on that videotape. Don't show up in a torn t-shirt and cut-off shorts. Show up in a dress, some sort of outfit that is respectful of the system and respectful of the process you're going through. You don't have to wear a suit and tie if you're a laborer and you're not used to wearing a suit and tie, but come dressed in a respectful manner. Here's tip 48. Don't wear flashy jewelry. I say that because I had a client once who showed up for his deposition and he had a big gaudy looking gold Rolex watch. Now it turns out, I found out later, that it wasn't a true Rolex watch, it was a fake. It was very cheap. And the problem is, the opposing attorney had no sympathy for him. He said, your guy's not hurt badly. He's running around with a gold Rolex watch. I had an expert once who showed up for a trial and he had a large gold chain around his neck. And the jury just kept staring at that gold chain and not listening to his testimony. So don't wear flashy jewelry. Here's tip 49. Don't feel obligated to fill the silence between questions. Lots of attorneys will ask a question, listen to your answer, and then they'll just keep staring at you because they want you to continue talking. They want to hear more and more and more from you. Don't feel obligated to fill the silence by talking. If you've given a truthful answer, stop talking and wait for the next question, even if there's an awkward silence. Give the shortest, truthful answer that you can. Don't keep talking. Don't elaborate. Don't volunteer information. If you've answered the question truthfully, Do so in the fewest possible words and then stop talking. Well, folks, that's it for now. More tips on how to give a great deposition are available at our website. Tune in to part 6 of 7 to learn how you too can give a great deposition.